Well, Newzroom Africa's Nobuhle Modise is tracking that event, and she joins us live from the ICC in Durban. Nobuhle, no overstating the value of tourism in South Africa, and clearly from the numbers we heard there today, on the continent as well.
Indeed, Michelle, the Deputy President Paul Mashatile speaking to the fact that in Africa, just in 2023, tourism, contributed around 6.8% to the GDP, which was almost over 5% higher than in the previous year. And in South Africa, we know that tourism contributes also highly, and they have projections for 2030 wanting it to contribute more than 10.4%. But we also know that tourism is a driver in terms of employment in the country, where over 1.6 million people are employed, and they're looking at also growing that, with projections showing that by 2030 that will grow by 2.2 million rather. I just want to show you the trade floor as well, Michelle. The trade floor has officially opened, being opened by the Minister Patricia de Lille, as well as the Deputy President Paul Mashatile, whose message around this particular Indaba was around interconnectedness, and him just stating there that in the embrace of an interconnected Africa, it's important to recognize some of the obstacles that the continent encounters. And there he was speaking to the fact that there are many challenges. Those include political strife, poverty, unemployment, and inequality. Also speaking to the fact that we cannot remain silent when the fabric of our societies disintegrate, saying they're being torn apart by widening geopolitical divides as well as economic tensions. And just speaking to the fact of what's happening currently, if we speak about geopolitics and what's happening in South Africa with those 49 white Afrikaners who have landed in Washington, D.C. during a doorstep, we did ask him, the feelings around that, and also how this would impact, tourism in the country. Patricia de Lille there speaking to the fact that tourism has been booming. Americans are coming into a country. There doesn't seem to be any problem there. The Deputy President also speaking to the fact that they have invited President Donald Trump to South Africa to see himself that there is no genocide taking place here. But when we go back to the Travel Indaba 2025, Michelle, some of the conversations in the backdrop are around, that 6.7 million rand that has been injected into air access in order to ensure that more tourists, come into the country. A lot of, positive messages there from the industry, but also the industry saying this must be done, cautioning that this must be done in a very coordinated way, where we see that this particular boost doesn't only, assist those hotspots being the likes of Cape Town and Kruger National Park, but it must be inclusive of all provinces in order to ensure that there is a real boost in tourism in South Africa, which does contribute largely to the GDP, as I mentioned earlier. So yes, the trade floor has officially opened, and this is a 3-day event that will close at the end of the weekend. As you can see, we are at the exhibition center, which is across the ICC, where all the African countries are under one roof, also just promoting their tourism products to ensure that they get more tourism into the African continent.
Nobuhle, tell us about this 6.5 million rand investment aimed at improving air access in terms of travel to South Africa.
Of course, Michelle, you'd remember during the State of the Nation address, President Cyril Ramaphosa positioned, tourism and made sure to say that it is a national priority. And we understand following that, the government did include a 6.7 million boost to air access. This is in order to improve air access and to ensure that they, attract more tourists into the country. Now, the industry is saying that this is a great move because it also speaks to the fact of interconnectedness, which we heard Deputy President Paul Mashatile speak on. But they're saying if this is not done correctly and only done to boost hotspots like Cape Town and Kruger National Park, where we always see a large number of tourists who are coming from the outside the continent flocking to, most times they're saying that areas like KwaZulu-Natal, Limpopo, there are many hidden gems in South Africa in particular, and that boost of 6.7 6.7 million into air access should be all-inclusive and make sure that all provinces, get a piece of that 6.7 million rand.
Very interesting story there indeed. Nobuhle Modise, live to us at the Durban ICC. Thanks very much indeed.